Brian Murphy here with Jeremy Fowler at Winter
Brian.
Park. Kind of a big news day. Rick Spielman promoted to general manager, the team's first general manager in over a decade, coming off a 3-13 season. A lot of changes expected to be made. New dynamic with Coach Leslie Frazier in terms of building this team or rebuilding this team. What did you take away from the news of the day, and what kind of an impact is Rick going to have going forward?
Well, I'm still not sure if you have power over the 53-man roster. If I do, it's still a little hazy. I mean, they left some wiggle room, but at least it's clear that it seems like there's somebody with a final say. There's some autonomy here, and I think you need that in an era where there are a lot of powerful NFL GMs. Ted Thompson's one. New England, all these teams have power structures in place. The Vikings just had confusion. Even Leslie Frazier kind of admonished that hey, I needed some clarity, So it brings that, it's still debatable whether Rick Spielman's the right guy for the job, considering he's coming off a 3-13 year. Not a whole lot of momentum in his favor, but he did admit some misses, and he admitted some hits as well. It's kind of been a mixed bag with him, even in Miami, So this is his chance to really put his stamp on a program that needs to take ownership of itself and create an identity.
With the owners too, they took a little bit of a step, probably reacting a lot to both public and media pressure as well, that there needed to be a definitive voice here. How much of it do you think was thought out? I mean, again, last year they went immediately to Leslie from interim coach to head coach without an outside search. They did the same promoting from within here. Do you view this as sort of like, they feel like their best solutions are in-house, why bother looking elsewhere? Or would it have been more productive to look for, say, a football czar kind of authoritative figure, a Belichick-type guy, Bill Parcells-type guy?
Right. I think that was a factor. There's so many unknowns here, probably because we don't get a chance to talk to Zygi Wilf a lot, but we don't even know if they had the structure to go out and find the right guy. I mean, who knows? And also, I think Zygi and Mark Wilf like being involved, from my understanding. It's not that they're making personnel decisions, but they work in accordance with Rick. I think they like being a part of the process. If you bring in a czar, I wonder if he would muscle them out and say, I'm the only guy, you guys kind of get out of the way here. I don't know if they wanted that. Rick is a guy they had a relationship with. From what I understand, they do really respect his voice. Maybe they figured it was a natural progression. I think 3-13 makes you take a hard look in the mirror.
Sure.
As part of the problem. I think before they figured the 6-10 was an aberration, and that hey, they made a great run up until 2009. They had a window, but then things wouldn't drop off this drastically. I don't think anybody saw this coming. It took some major rebuilding. I think they realized that somebody at least needs to clarify some of the confusion.
From Leslie Frazier's standpoint, I mean, his first full season, I mean, there were some obvious times where he looked a little bit confused or unsure of some decisions on the sideline, clock management, game management. In some ways, maybe this allows him to concentrate more on coaching, building a coaching staff, figuring out what kind of scheme to run on defense. Maybe there is an overhaul there. I mean, in some ways, maybe he loses a little bit of clout in the draft room and personnel decisions, but at the end of the day, maybe it's a better thing that he can just concentrate on burnishing his bona fides as a coach.
Right. Well, we obviously saw that to be fair, Leslie Frazier doesn't have a very strong track record of this personnel thing when you look at McNabb. That was his big push. He put his chips in with him, and it didn't work. I think that the fundamental problem here is that Frazier felt that there was enough talent to try to hang on, and to his credit, you come in as first-year coach, you want to win, Even if it's going to be 7-9, 8-8, you want to try to squeeze as many wins as you can. You don't want to just totally rebuild knowing that you probably don't have a whole lot of job security. So he was comfortable with veterans, where I think Rick, in a different vision long term, wanted to rebuild a little earlier, maybe get guys like Kyle Rudolph more involved early in the year, some of those rookies. So there was kind of a fundamental dynamic that was shifting, whether Leslie knew it or not. I think this does free him up. Like he said, the demarcation line is clear. He can focus on his job, and I think that will help him. I mean, he's probably a guy that was used to kind of controlling his own destiny, and now he's just got to worry about what he has on the roster and how to coach it.
I mean, Leslie did say, too, that there had been no decisions made on as far as his assistant coaching staff, although it sounds like that maybe some of his either his defensive coordinator, Fred Pugic, and some of those assistants there could be vulnerable to a changeover. Right. He also seemed a little bit reluctant, but did acknowledge he may have to consider switching schemes from his traditional 4-3 Tampa 2 coverage to maybe a 3-4 scheme. I mean, I know that's a little bit more in the weeds than maybe some people want to go, but I mean, are all options on the table right now? And the fact that they did go 3-13, and now he's got somebody he's got to report to directly. How much clout does he have even in building a roster on what he has established himself as a defensive coach?
Yeah, I think defensively, especially with the coaching staff, everything's out in the open and everything is subject to change at this point. I mean, he was a guy that talked about optimism, and even Rick said that there were enough signs and enough talent in spots at least to try to build around. But when they address something defensively, it's a little bit of a different tone. He's like, well, we'll see, you know, that schematically everything's up in the air. I mean, I think that points to the fact that major changes are coming on that side of the ball. I think we have to remember Christian Ponder, despite his struggles, showed maybe enough heady play to be the future. I think they want to at least commit to their first-round pick and give him a chance. That's why I think Bill Musgrave is pretty safe. I think he's good behind the scenes with Christian, and probably most of the offensive staff, from what I understand, is pretty safe. It's defensively is the issue. Fred Puckett, you know, nobody's been fired yet, but you know, things could be changing quickly. I don't know. The 3-4 dynamic is interesting because we just don't know if they have the personnel to run it right now, and you can't just get rid of everybody. You can't say, hey, Kevin Williams, Jared Allen, you're all going to change or be gone. I don't know if you can do that.
And Jared Allen just had a career year.
Just had a career year. But at the same token, you know, you don't want to keep things the same when you're struggling just because, you know, one player has a good year, you know, and only a quarterback position can really determine things long term, not defensive ends. So, you know, it's an interesting dynamic. At the end of the day, I don't think they'll change. I think they'll tweak the 4-3, but they'll drastically change the personnel in some spots, especially in the secondary.
So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks here with the offseason. We're probably going to have a lot of personnel changes, a lot of word about players being let go, leading up to March 1 free agency. We're going to see where the Vikings go there. They should have a lot of money to spend, and we head into the April draft where they're going to have the third overall pick. Where we have third overall pick. You should get a fine impact player. They got plenty of holes to fill, so it's going to be an interesting couple of months. So from Winter Park, this is Brian Murphy. This is Jeremy Fowler. We'll see you soon.